Hello, welcome to the lecture series on Control Systems Engineering. So far, we have learnt the rules of drawing root locus plots and have demonstrated how root locus plot can be drawn with number of examples. Also, how exactly time response specifications can be set by choosing a particular value of k on the root locus plot. Can we draw the root locus quickly and do whatever we have done using a software tool? So here I have used MATLAB tool to demonstrate how root locus plot can be drawn and k can be determined for the required time response. So here, this is the characteristic equation. This is the numerator part, open loop zeros, open loop poles. I just opened up. Now in MATLAB we can call it as denominator din, numerator this part. Then if I say sys equal to t of transfer function num comma din, this is the command. Then it will take the numerator and denominator values and it will find the transfer function. Then if I say r locus sys means it will draw the root locus plot. So here I have taken an example. This is the controller. This is the plant. Okay, this is the feedback device transfer function. You want to draw the root locus plot. G1 TF1 comma 1 8 25. This one 1 comma 1 8 25 is G1. 1 by s minus 1, that is G2. TF1 comma 1 minus 1. The command prompt you can type, otherwise you can create an M file. G3 is TF1 comma 1 4. I have got this. Then let me multiply these two. So series G1 comma G2. Fine. System is okay. Now we have H means this part and G3 means this part. So if I say R locus, it will draw the root locus within no time. So now very clearly it draws, like you see here, this root locus starts like this and goes this way. This root locus starts and goes this way. This root locus goes in this way. And this root locus goes in this way. You can very quickly draw the root locus plot. I'm just open MATLAB. At the command prompt you can type this, or you can just create M file. Open an M file, say script, enter all this information and say evaluate. It will draw this root locus plot. Okay, it's very simple. Look here now. This is 1 plus g of sh of s. This is g of sh of s. Let us say numerator is 1 and 2.5. Denominator is 2, 5, 20, 18. Transfer function is num comma din. R locus of system, you say, it will draw the root locus. Okay. Now you can, after drawing the root locus, you can move your cursor. As you move the cursor over the root locus, it will show you the gain k, the closed loop pole, damping value and what will be the overshoot, percent overshoot, and also it will show you the frequency. So at zeta equal to approximately 0.1, you click, you'll get your K value and this information also. As you move any on the root locus at any point, you can click and find out this. Okay, fine. The same thing. Either you create an M file at the command prompt, you type this. So consider an open loop transfer which has transfer function in this form. So numerator is 1, so here another way of doing is, din is convolute of, this is 1, 0, this is 1, 5, these two I have multiplied, again 115 and 120 I have multiplied. So again whole thing I have convoluted. So that's how you get this denominator. This way also you can write. Then R locus you say, then axis also you can specify. If you get into the details, you can start learning. It's not a difficult thing. So it has drawn axis values also, x imaginary and real, and it has drawn the root locus plot. Many times in the design specification, the rise time, peak time, settling time, percent overshoot will be specified as design requirements. Once root locus is plotted, to select a proper value of K satisfying the design requirements, a region in the S-plane needs to be identified as shown, like this. Right? Right. Okay, you know, I have taught you all these things. What is the basis for all this? Okay. For doing this, no. To determine what part of the locus is acceptable, we can use the command sgrid zeta, omega n to plot the values. Plot lines of constant damping ratio and natural frequency. If two arguments of the damping ratio and natural frequency, then you can simply write zeta equal to 0.7, add these lines to your M file. So whatever you had, entered for this here, after this you can add zeta equal to 0.7, omega n is equal to 1 point, s grid zeta omega n you add. So then it will create a grid also like this, right? It will create a grid. Okay. So that's what I was talking about. Yes, continue. You can see, just see. Okay, you can extract closed loop poles also. You can just do one thing. Numerator CL, denominator CL, C loop, KD star numerator and denominator. If you have written a separate program with numerator, denominator with KD value, and so numerator of closed loop, denominator of closed loop also you can write using this command. Okay, if you give the step of that numerator and denominator CL, then it will give you a closed loop response like this. Okay, very simple way you can use MATLAB to draw the root locus plot and analyzing your design. So I just taken a MATLAB example. Here I have given g of s is equal to 1 by s plus 1, s plus 2. We can see here for different cases I have demonstrated how exactly system responds. For k less than 0.4, k lying in the range of 0 to 0.4, 0.4, and again 0.4 to 0.6, 6, k greater than 6. For that I have just written numerator is 1, denominator is this polynomial, then I have transfer function Okay, closed loop pole or locus of this. Okay, range k ranges from 0.25 to 8, correct? No, these are the ranges 0.25, 0.4, 1.5, 6 and 8. I think these are the k values I have given. Okay, right? These are the different values of k. And t I have given 0 to 20 in steps of 0.2. So there are 5 values of k. I have written a loop for j1 to 5. So I have taken this CL pole, correct? Because I am asking for a response. That is the reason. So why this way? If I write real and imaginary part of it, steps t, n, then I am asking it to subplot and label a time, label amplitude, time and all those things. So again, another plot for that also I have written. There are 2 subplots I have shown. So this is the k equal to 0.25 plot. This is k equal to 0.4 plot. K is equal to 1.5 plot. The lines are right. Then k equal to 6 plot. Right? Sorry, this is k equal to 8 plot and this one is k equal to 6 plot. This one. So you can study how exactly k varies the closed loop response. How exactly it varies, you can see that one. So for a number of values also you can see earlier I have shown you only for one particular value. That's how using MATLAB you can study closed loop roots. After that, how exactly system responds to a step input you can find out, right? Yeah. So now let me summarize what all we have studied from class 1 till today. Assume that I am interested in designing a controller for an XY table and I want to control its motion automatically. Okay, automatically I want to control. One part is, first of all, I have taught you how to model this XY table. That is mx double dot cx dot kx, where m becomes the mass of the complete XY table. C becomes damping. K becomes its stiffness. Okay, suppose I want both x displacement, y displacement, then I have to write y direction equation and x direction equation. I have simply, in general, I have written this. Okay, so how to model this we have learned. Next part is how to design a controller. So proportional controller, integral controller, derivative controller. You need to program this on a microcontroller. So to choose a specific microcontroller, you must understand the programming language of that, and using that you can first simulate, and whatever code is there you can transfer the code to the microcontroller. Okay, so you need whatever signal that comes, it should be amplified to the required value to achieve this Kp, Ki, Kd. Also to the servo motors which drive this XY table, analog signal should be given. So digital to analog we need to convert here only, then power electronics, then you can do this, right? Depending on how the signals are available. So now what are the set value XY table, what displacement should have, from point A to point B, what velocity it should move, feed rate, position, which is the start point, which is the end point, what is the feed rate with velocity. To begin with, it has to start with certain acceleration, then deaccelerates. These information will be fed with the program. So for a particular CNC, based on the controller used, the programming format will be given. As per that program format, you have to program it. Send this program, right? Then this will drive the motors as per the program. As the XY table moves, these encoders continuously monitor the position of the XY table. They continuously feed the information here. Correct? Accordingly, if there are any errors are there, it will make those corrections and again set the values and send it. This is how. So far I've taught you to get XY table when stops. Will it overshoot? Will it oscillate? How fast it responds? When start signal coming from actuator, what is the error in its final position? All these kind of things, how to find. This we have learned. Once you know the transfer function, this we have learned. Correct? To completely design this system, we should know CNC program, then microcontroller programming, correct, then power electronics design, DAC design, digital to analog controller design, choosing of servo motors, XY table, monitoring and building it, and setting those encoders. All this knowledge is necessary. Then we can build a complete project. Okay. So that is the idea behind this. End of the course, tell you how to design this. Probably I'm not talking about how to, that we can do separately, like how to program a microcontroller and set this. I think that can be taken as a project and we can do that. Okay, that is the idea of control system design. Okay, that completes something like the control system dynamics, how exactly it behaves in time domain. Means when we are giving signals, we define step, ramp, parabolic, which are all in time domain, and we observe the output also in time domain. Instead of these kind of time domain signals, if I give frequency based signals, how exactly the control system behaves. Correct? I think that we study in the next chapter. I hope this has given you a clear picture, but definitely I propose you to build a simple XY table project like this. Then you will understand the beauty of control engineering. Maybe you may have to take some help regarding power electronics and CNC programming, or you can refer many manuals and you can do it. And it is possible to build this in your laboratory. Okay, many times these mechanical XY tables are available in the market. Servo motors are also available. Encoders you can buy. You can build power electronic circuit and buy those components and all that. You should also again choose what microcontroller you want, and on the microcontroller how to program that you must understand. Then learn how to simulate the controller and generate the code and dump the code onto this, then connect it to a computer. And if you can write a program, then it is possible to realize what you understand, what you realize. Then you go on varying these values of Ki, Kd, Kp, then how exactly the system behaves, you can study. Okay, so with this, let me stop the time domain analysis. Okay, so another thing I would like to advise, if the problem becomes complex, I suggest you to use MATLAB or Simulink and simulate those things and understand before building the system. Okay, thank you.